Welcome back to Talk That Talk with DivaSpeaks Relationships. My name is Angela Potarayal, and welcome to another edition, once again, of Talk That Talk. So we have a situation in the inbox with one of our good sisters. We've talked about it before, but you know what? When it's happening to you, it's like the conversations that were previously had, you forget about them or you throw them out the window until it's your turn. This is that case. But I'm going to walk this good sister through. I'm going to say something I've already said. However, you know what? Again, no judgment, but we've all heard about this before. I've talked about it before countless times on my show. So here goes. He's moved on already. That's the caption. He's moved on already. Our good sister writes, we were together nearly 5 years, engaged, living together. We have a baby. I'm 11 months postpartum. When he ended it, he said it was because the way I've been acting with my postpartum depression that really hurt him. But 5 days after the split, he's in someone else's bed. He works with her too. So it's not just some random girl. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how he's moved on already. Well, told you we've talked about this before. This is nothing new under the sun. And you know, statistically, they say that most relationships and or affairs start at the workplace. Statistics have shown that. Let me repeat that. Most affairs, most relationships start at the workplace. Let me repeat something that I've already said in previous Talk That Talk editions. If you can't trust your partner to take their behind to work and just work and not get in an emotional affair or a physical affair or act inappropriately at work, then why would you want to be with that person? Because clearly you can't trust them to go to work and just work, which is the case of our good sister. So just to recap, our good sister has been in a relationship, was in a relationship with this guy for 5 years. They were engaged. They not so long ago had a baby. And he broke up with her 5 days ago, and she's recently discovered that he's now moved on with a woman that he works with, and they're together now. Like, he's already sleeping with his woman, and it's just been 5 days, according to her. She's having a hard time trying to figure out how the hell he moved on so quick. My answer is it was already going on. He just found a way to execute what he already was planning to do or wanting to do, and he can do so without regret because he's officially ended it with you. It's not right. It's just life. This is what has happened. Our good sister says that she had been suffering from postpartum depression, and he used that as an excuse to end the relationship because he is saying that because of her postpartum depression and the way she was treating him, it hurt him and he just couldn't deal with it no more. So he ran to the arms of another woman that he works with. And of course, our good sister having a baby, 11 months out from having her baby, she's struggling with it, you know, and most of us that get it, we get it. Like, you just had a baby, you was with this man for 5 years, you've shared your home, your life, now you share a child together. Next thing you know, you end it. And instead of you being able to take time to absorb the impact of the relationship ending, you come to find out that this man is now booed up with some at work. It happens. I'm not saying it's right, but it does. Good sis, you're going to have to take the time that you need to grieve and mourn and process this breakup and the ending of this relationship. It is what it is. He's ended it with you. Under the best set of circumstances, let's just say the fling that he has with the coworker ends and he comes back to you. My question to you is, and I've posed this question before, when this issue has come up, even if he comes back to you, how can you rightfully so trust him to go to work and just work? Will he forever act on the impulse of attraction to the opposite sex and always give in to temptation where it will leave you not knowing what he's doing at work, who he's doing at work, and if he will end it with you once he once he's found somebody that he has a strong attraction to. You think it's only been 5 days. It's been more than 5 days. He's been actively involved, interested in, and attracted to this woman that you're just now discovering for quite some time. It didn't just happen. They've been talking, they've been meeting up, they've been doing a host of other things that led him to want to break up with you. He's emotionally involved with this woman, and he's involved with this woman. It was going on behind your back. Sometimes the truth comes out at the most inopportune time. This is your truth. This is his truth. His truth is that he's been wanting out of this relationship with you. A baby doesn't keep a man. I know that you feel like 5 years invested, a baby that's barely a year old, not even a year old, and the life that you've created together would have given him pause before ending it with you and running to the arms of another, but it didn't. That just goes to show that sometimes we are more invested and we value our relationships more than the person that you are in the relationship with. It's not right. It's unfair. You didn't deserve this. However, excuse me. Get some help for your postpartum depression. Because if it did impact your relationship, and most of us mothers or who have had children, we get it. If it impacted your relationship, then it's worthy of postpartum depression, excuse me. Try to work on yourself. Try to get counseling for what you are going through right now. It is painful. Breakups are painful. Baby or no baby, breakups are painful. And when you discover that the person that you've been in a relationship with for years has moved on like lightning speed, he's already with somebody else, or she is already with somebody else, that worsens the pain that you are going through. And we get it. We really do get it. I need you to work on yourself. This is not going to be easy. This is not something that you can just bounce back from like that. I get it, but time is going to have to put in the work for you. Time is going to have to help you to be successful in restoring your self-esteem and your mental health and your emotional well-being, because you did mention that you just had a baby less than a year ago. So you have all of that to consider. You have to consider being a good mom for your child, and then once the sting of him moving on so quickly has died down a little bit, then you have to put into effect a successful co-parenting relationship with this man. I mean, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and take your time with it. Take your time, put in the work so you can heal, so that you will not carry this around with you for the rest of your life. You deserve a love that is respectful. You deserve a love that has trust in it, and you don't have to worry about second guessing what they're doing with, if you're not within eyesight. You deserve a love that's not going to embarrass you, okay, when the two of you are not together, when you are apart. This guy, your child's father, has done tremendous damage to you emotionally, not only with you being blindsided by the breakup, but, leaving you, and then you finding out that he's been, that now he's in a relationship with a coworker. You think it's been 5 days. Again, I want to emphasize, this is not a 5-day-old relationship. This is something that has been going on. Even if we were to say, well, it hasn't been physical, which I would never say it has been physical. It's still been an emotional affair that proves that he was not protecting his relationship. Maybe things were really bad for him. Maybe you really were horrible to him during your postpartum depression. But he should have done more research and tried to find ways to comfort you during this time, because after all, you just had his child. But instead of doing what he needed to do to make sure that you were mentally and emotionally healthy after giving birth, he ran to the arms of another woman. And I'm sure it started with conversation. It started with inappropriate oversharing in conversation with this particular coworker that each of them had an attraction to each other, right? And so he just progressively moved forward. He didn't try again to protect the relationship. He just threw the fact out the window that he just literally started a family with you and he has a 5-year history with you. Good sis, I wish you well on your journey of healing. I need you to understand that this happens sometimes to the best of women, okay? It is not entirely your fault, but if there are some areas that you know that you could have done better, you could have handled a little bit different, then you reflect on those moments and those situations and moving forward, be active, okay, in making sure that you never do those things again so that you don't reproduce the same results that you got with this man. Again, I want to repeat to you, even if he comes back to you, I need you to remember, you will always wonder if when he goes to work, is there someone else at work? Or if he keeps the same job, will he rekindle that relationship with this coworker? How much of a threat is this woman to your relationship? Those are the things that you're going to have to sit with yourself and ask yourself if you are prepared to deal with those type of challenges in your relationship if he comes back, if you accept him back. And then there's the issue of your child, the child that you just had for him. How are you going to be able to successfully co-parent with this man, with all of this emotional turmoil? Because I can guarantee you, you're still in love with him, as you should be. It's only been 5 days. No one can fault you, and most of us get it. Okay, love just doesn't disappear like that. And I don't believe for 1 second that he's fallen out of love with you. I'm not willing to bet my life on it, but I can guarantee you he is not, he's not in a place where he can rightfully say he's not in love with you anymore. He probably still is in love with you, or he loves you. Right now, he's operating in the spirit of lust and he's acting on it and he's doing him. So I just want you to consider those things in the event that the two of you start to have some adult conversations about your relationship and co-parenting with the child, regarding the child that you just had. If you're just now tuning in, on my way out, we got a good sis who's been in a 5-year relationship with her man. They, were engaged. 11 months ago, she had a child, their very first child. After she gave birth to the child, she started experiencing extreme postpartum depression, which impacted her relationship with her man. Her man ended the relationship 5 days ago, and now he's already in a relationship with his coworker. She's heartbroken, and she doesn't know how to process the fact, number one, that they just broke up, and number two, how the hell did he move on so quickly? My response in short is it hasn't been 5 days. He's been actively, sexually, and emotionally involved, entangled with his coworker for quite some time. He used the postpartum depression and what they were going through in their relationship as a reason to exit the relationship and move full force ahead with the relationship with the coworker. I have advised our good sister that if he comes back, I need you to remember how he left. Again, if he comes back, which more than likely he will, I need her to remember how he left the relationship, how he left her, how he left things, and be very, very, very slow to take this man back. Because again, if you can't trust him to take his raggedy behind to work and make the money to support the family without getting in an emotional affair or a sexual affair with a coworker, then why would you want to be with him? You will be forever burdened with the fact of worrying about what is he doing when he's at work, and no one deserves that under no circumstances. Okay, I've said my piece. I've had my say. This is what my feedback regarding this letter. So I hope this helps this good sister. And if you or someone you know is going through this, I hope you share it with them. I hope you take it to heart because it came from mine. Okay. This has been Talk That Talk with Diva Speaks Relationships. My name is Angela Patarreal. Toodles.